Okay, it's going on. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to do it no matter what. It's called determination. Okay. Oh, it's official. I can't believe I did it. Hey. I made it back. Yes, I made it. Hey. Okay. Whew. Let's see if I can get some light over here. This might be all the light I can get. This might be all the light I can get. I hope you guys can see me. It's Adrian, Capricorntigress of astrologylookinside.com, and I'm doing something different tonight. I'm trying to do TikTok and do YouTube at the same time. Now, I'm not sure how this is coming off on either platform, but I'm like, hey, why not try it? It's a big night. Let's do it. So what's the big deal? The sun has moved into Pisces. It's Pisces season. It's Pisces season. Let's dance. Hey! It's Pisces. It's Pisces season. Now, not everybody wants to dance over that. I'm just saying. I kind of want to dance over it because I got Jupiter in Pisces. But not everybody has Jupiter in Pisces. So we're going to be talking about some of the changes, massive changes that are going to be happening because of this influence of Pisces. Pisces is going to be taking over a lot of what we've been dealing with. We've been dealing with Aquarius. Now we're going to be dealing with Pisces. And Pisces has a reputation of being a very pleasant sign. It's not always that pleasant. Jupiter's the same way, the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is pleasant, but because it's a beneficial planet, but sometimes it's too much of a good thing. And I'm concerned that we might have the same occurrence with Pisces planets because Pisces tends to be a little bit confused at times. It's nebulous. It's uncertain. You don't always know when it comes to Pisces. Pisces doesn't always know. So how can we know when they don't always know? And I'm saying this because I've got my progressed sun in Pisces. So I feel like I can talk about this because I do have my progressed sun in Pisces right now. And I just wanted to say that we are about to go into a new moon in Pisces in a few hours, actually. We're already at 0 degrees and 13 minutes. We've been in Pisces for 13 minutes already. I tried to do this exactly, you guys. Now you're going to be like, why does she want to do it exactly? Okay. So I was born with 0 degrees. I'm looking right now. Hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. You're like, we don't need to know, but I'm going to tell you, okay? I'm going to tell you anyway. Oh, I just realized I have to log in. So here's the thing. I want to say that my second house, my second house is 0 degrees of Pisces, right? So I just want to make sure that I pull up my chart. I just want to make sure. Because this is all on my second house. And everybody wants the sun on their second house. I mean, if it's positive, right? Because that's money. I'm just usually. So I'm pulling up the chart I'm going to see if I can show this chart on YouTube. Maybe. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. Hopefully, if I can do it. So my second house is 0 degrees and 53 minutes. So I've actually about 30 minutes before it hits my second house. It's still in my first house. I have the biggest first house, you guys. Oh my gosh. If you have seen me on TikTok or YouTube, I think on YouTube I've got something like 1,700 videos. On TikTok, I don't know. I just make videos all the time. Because what do you do when you have a big first house? My first house starts at 17 degrees of Capricorn and doesn't leave until 0 degrees and 53 minutes of Pisces. It's huge, huge. And the 8th house is even bigger, or has more planets in it, I should say. The second and the 8th house in my chart is huge. I just realized my progressed sun is in my second house. I need to be making the money. Now, look, let's talk about where the planets are, because I will digress into my own horoscope chart, and since everybody can't see it, it can be frustrating. I tell you what, I'll do a Zoom or something where I can show you guys my horoscope chart, because literally my sun is on my ascendant, like literally, okay? And I would love to do your horoscope charts too. So anyone who wants to have their horoscope chart done, you know, follow and like me, because I'll do it for you. I love that. I do. I love helping people understand their horoscope charts, understand what's going on in their horoscopes, and prepare for what might be coming their way, because that's the big thing. We don't always know what's coming, and that's what gets us into trouble with astrology. Anyway, the moon right now is at 14 degrees of Aquarius. That means it's, you know, it's trekking through. We got a few hours. Mercury's at 11 degrees of Aquarius. That means that the moon and Mercury are conjoined. And so we could be really emotional in our communications. And I gotta be honest, I wanted to come and say something emotional. I did. I'm not sure I'm gonna do it, but I wanted to just come and say something that might have been, you know, controversial. Maybe I'll save that. I don't know. But I will say this. With all the emphasis in Pisces, we're going to have the new moon in Pisces tomorrow. We have the sun in Pisces. On the 7th, Saturn is going into Pisces, where it's going to be sitting out and hanging out for 2 years. Pisces, even though Sagittarius is known for it, Pisces does rule the way our belief system. Like, it is, I don't want to say our fantasies, but it is our fantasies. Pisces is like very creative. I always feel like it's just like a wave of nebulousness that floats through the atmosphere. Some of us pick up on that message that Pisces and Neptune and Jupiter want to share with us. Some of us don't, but it's highly creative, highly creative. I have a fear, though, because we're talking about Saturn. And I almost want to cry, because I feel like creativity itself may be stamped out. You know, there's a lot of talk about them getting rid of TikTok, right? Because of whatever reason. I'm almost teary. Some people's philosophies are going to affect the creativity of others. Now, you think I might be kidding about Saturn, right? Let me tell you how literal Saturn is. When Saturn went into Aquarius, we literally were blocked from communicating and interacting with each other. What does Aquarius rule? Interactions with other people. Saturn is that restrictive. And I really think it's going to be restricting certain things in our lives. It's going to be restricting things like religion, astrology, the healing practices, creativity, music. Have you noticed even on TikTok, the music has already started being restricted? Have you noticed this? I got into their commercial program. Now there's certain songs I can't get to anymore. That expect more of that. Expect more, less music. And the thing that's making me want to cry the most is about what's going on with Ron DeSantis down in Florida. I'm not even in Florida. I'm in Seattle. We're much more progressive, obviously, than that. But, book burning books, burning creativity. Literally, it's starting, you guys. And I feel like it's our responsibility to make sure that whatever this ugly, nebulous, restrictive Saturn thing is that wants to attack and get into the Piscean creativity and like nip it in the buds. Like, no, we don't want to hear about your creative ideas. We don't want to hear your music. We don't want to know about how you're, whatever it is. Like I'm afraid of witch burning. Right? We're in the 21st century. I'm afraid that we're going. It's like creeping back to medieval times. Like, what the F? We have got to put a stop to it now. Know what's coming, people. Saturn in Pisces restricts the creative flow, and we are not going to let it happen. Pisces flows. Saturn and Pisces don't flow together. They're not flowing. It's going to stop. It's going to try to dam it. Now, what ways do you restrict water? Have you heard about the water restrictions? Some people on TikTok have already talked about this. I've seen them. There was something they said where Biden was, they were determining what's the word I'm looking for? Where they map it all out, the territorial waters, like they're controlling our water. Look, I'm telling you, Neptune rules water, Pisces rules water. All of that flow, whether it's the creative, the acting, actors, acting, dancing, music, books, anything that has to do with the creative flow is going to be messed with or halted. And I feel like we've got to be on top of this now so that we can make sure that we put a nip that in the bud. Whatever medieval times they're trying to bring back, we need to nip that in the bud, okay, before it gets out of hand. And it starts March 7th. Saturn gets into Pisces on March 7th. So I can feel it already, but you might really feel it March 7th and after. Now, there's a couple of other ways, like where it might come into play and how we might see how it all starts to affect us. And one of the other ways, and by the way, I see people who are trying to get in on this conversation, go live. I'm going to accept you guys in a minute. I just want to get this out because I don't know how to do it because other people want to get invited to TikTok. But the thing is, I feel like we've got 2 years of this. So how is it, it might be more people working. Saturn work, it rules work, it's task, but more people maybe working in a creative field or just feeling that I just sense there's going to be a block. And I really feel like the block is going to come especially in the US, if they actually do ban TikTok like they really want to do, which is the most creative platform on the internet right now. And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what country it comes from. Perfection is perfection. TikTok is perfection. YouTube, I love you. That's why I'm co-streaming right now on both platforms. But, I just feel like we're in the midst of we're about to lose our creative flow, you guys. So I really want you to protect your creative projects, your creations. If you have to copyright things, do that. If you have to hide, I don't know. I just look, when I listen to DeSantis talk sometimes, I'm like, are we going back to like World War II, like what they did to the Jewish people. Like, that's how they started, right? They burned their synagogues, they burned their books, they got rid of their history. That's what they did. That's how it starts. So if we are going, I hope we're not all going to just sit by and watch it. Like, I hope that people are going to speak out when they see it, because like, that's why we shouldn't get rid of history, because if you don't know the history, you're doomed to repeat it. Literally, this man sounds like a recording when he says, stop the woke. It's out. You could just replace woke with Jews. I mean, really, I'm sorry. It's disgusting. So we've got to stop it, really. We've seen this. We're not stupid. I mean, yeah, you can try to burn the books now, but there's movies, there's plays, we're not dumb. People are not stupid. You can't just erase life. Like, people lived and they were here and they made contributions, and you can't pretend that didn't happen because you're racist. It's disgusting. And let me tell you something. Pisces rules things like racist. Why? Because it's things like, well, really, that's Sagittarius, but it's the philosophy, it's the belief systems. It goes back to that. It goes back to the confusion of it all, because Pisces also rules confusion. So expect a lot of that. Some people are going to be in the middle and not know what to do, how to think, how to feel, because they're going to be in the confused, like, I don't know, I can't decide. Make a decision, okay? Also, they always say there's no such thing as good and evil, right and wrong. It's like we're all just living in this, like, I don't know, world of, it could be anything. But there is going to be a definitive line of what feels good and what feels wrong. And we're going to have to make a choice in this, that what feels good and what feels wrong for whatever reason. Sometimes it might even go against your own best interest, but if you know in your heart, like, look, even a dog knows when it does something wrong. It does. Have you ever seen a dog do something wrong? They'll come to you with that look, like, they know they did something wrong. And this is the same thing. They know. Like, y'all seen that video of his kids out there screaming N-word, 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 N-word. That's what's coming out of that household. N-word, 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 N-word. That can't happen. I don't know why people are not doing more. I'm just saying. Now, we may see that because, Pisces squares Sagittarius. So expect a lot of, I would say, potential upheaval in politics, because Sagittarius, that's politics. I think there's going to be a lot of upheaval in politics. There's going to be the difference between your belief system and your philosophy, and like what's right and what your belief is. Your belief might feel right to you, but it's not if it's going to ruin the lives of other people or harm them or destroy their world. Sometimes we've been taught things that ain't right. And no one's taught us anything better. We don't know no better. I think this Pisces is going to give us an opportunity to start feeling again and doing things from a feeling place and not from simply the Mr. Spock intellectual place, which is where we've been in Aquarius season. Not everybody's been using their heart. Not everybody's been using compassion, because Aquarius doesn't rule that. Aquarius is very thought-provoking. They're in their heads. They're very intellectual. Aquarius is one of the human signs. I talk about this a lot, okay? In astrology, there are only a couple of human signs. There's Virgo, there's Gemini, there's Aquarius. And some people say Libra, but I think that's more of an inanimate object, right? I think they're more inanimate because they're really scales. I guess you could think of a person holding the scales as human, so, whatever. But Aquarius is an actual water bearer. It's a person holding water and pouring it out. But the thing is, he's pouring out the emotion. He's not holding on to it. So we just came through 2 years, almost 2 years, of people really holding on to their emotions, maybe pouring it out, but not expressing their emotions the way they really should be. It's been up in the head. It's up here. Pisces is going to make us go here. Okay, this is where we got to go. You can feel certain things. Like I said, even a dog knows when he did wrong. You don't have to tell that dog he did wrong. That dog feels it. I got a little grand dog, Barkley. Love Barkley. If Barkley does something bad, he'll look at me like I know I did wrong. Are you gonna say something? Like they know. Dogs know. Okay, so I feel like even babies know. Babies know when they do wrong. So when people act like they don't know, I'm like, babies know, dog, we know. It's just a matter of, are we going to act on these things or are we not going to act on these things? And that's the reality of it all, right? And thank you, everybody who has been joining me. God bless you all for your support. I just have this on my heart, and I wanted to come out and say it tonight because we are in the midst of a major change. We are about to go now into everything Pisces. So the sun's now in Pisces. The moon is going into Pisces. And we're going to have a new moon in Pisces at 1 degree and 22 minutes. 1 degree and 22 minutes of Pisces. So if you, in your horoscope, if you've got any planets in the mutable signs, I would say up to about 10 degrees, okay? Because you get a 10-degree orb with the sun and moon. If you got any planets like, say, at 0 to 10 degrees of Virgo, 0 to 10 degrees of Sagittarius, 0 to 10 degrees of Pisces, 0 to 10 degrees of Sagittarius or Gemini, then you're going to really be directly affected. Also, if you got planets in the late signs of the fixed signs, you're going to be feeling that too. So, like, if you've got, you're already feeling it right now. Like, if you've got planets that are like from 25 to 0 degrees of the fixed sign prior. So, like, for instance, I've got my Venus at 28 degrees and 55 minutes of Scorpio. And I've got my Mars at 26 minutes of Leo in the 7th house. Y'all know I could not help myself. I had to come out here and make these videos. That's like, it's the square. It's the square, the action. I had to act on the action. And that's exactly what's going to be going on for a lot of people. I think it's all going to change as of tomorrow when we start feeling with our hearts again. Today you might not feel it. We got the moon on Mercury in Aquarius. So I don't even know if some of y'all are getting what I'm saying right now. It might be going over your head because it's not going to your heart. But I promise to to share this later and make little bits of it, and maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. We have got to start feeling here, not just here. We've been thinking a lot. We've been on the money, like the obsession with making money and being smart and thinking and you know, the chat GPT and all these intellectual, almost technological type things, right? Lots of AI and stuff like that. We're going to be moving away from that and dealing with things like religion, belief systems, compassion, charity work, helping your neighbors, taking in family members maybe because, you know, it's a recession. It's going to be about helping your brother man, your fellow man, not so much like in Aquarius way, but in a compassionate, caring, I'm going to cry and die for you kind of way, like the ride and die. We're going to see more of that over the next couple of years. That might be restricted though, right? If we get into a really cold place where there's war or there's famine or I don't even like thinking about it, right? But you might see a lack of compassion because Saturn rules shows us where things are lacking, where they're restricted, where there's less of it than there should be. And so in the area of Pisces, we're going to see less of what is the essence of Pisces, whether that's the music or the art, the books, the creativity, the dancing, or if it's the philosophy, the caring. I know I think I want to say it's Florida. I don't even think I want to visit Florida. Like Florida is out, okay, for me. I don't even know how you could be in Florida and have brown skin. I'm just saying. But there was a video I saw where some guy was trying to feed the homeless, like a homeless shelter or something in Florida. And they came and shut him down and incited him for feeding people. That kind of thing. We're going to see that, like almost where it's illegal to help other people or we're restricted from helping people. That, we've got to be careful about that. Again, that reminds me of that whole World War II, not, German issue with the Jewish people, where, they used to have to hide like rats inside of the buildings because other people were not allowed to help them. If you helped them, they would kill you and your family. I hope we don't get back to that, Lord. There's so much more I can talk about with astrology. Like where Uranus is. Do you know when the 84-year Uranus thing? We're in that. Like, it's just scary. Anyway, just saying, tomorrow we're gonna have this new moon in Pisces. I take advantage of it before Saturn gets there. We've got to the 7th of March before Saturn gets into Pisces. So take advantage of it. It should be creative. Make all your creative works as as much as you can. I don't think we're going to see too much restriction or the problem until after Saturn moves into Pisces. And then also we're going to have that full moon that's culminating in Virgo. And so that's coming as well. And then we're going to really start to see what this is and how it's all going to play out, because it is going to be affecting us in some way. We've just got to be prepared for that and know that it's coming. So moving away from that for a moment, let's talk about where Venus is. Venus is at 28 degrees and 33 minutes of Pisces. Yes, it's trying my sun. That's why I look so cute for 60. But look, this Venus in Pisces is going to be going into Aries after, very shortly. And so we're going to be seeing a whole different type of Venus. Like Venus in Pisces has been very creative. Lots of creativity, lots of people making videos and music and dancing and crazy. Like, have you seen the crazy Astro Boy shoes? I call them Disney boots. But like those cute little red boots, I've got those on I made a video about them. Like cute little stuff like that happening with Pisces. Pisces, Venus, the fashion has been really fun and creative and otherworldly. But when Venus gets into Aries, it's going to be completely different. It's going to be new, first of all, but also more competitive. So expect more competitiveness. And I think this is going to really play up with Jupiter in the early degrees of Aries. Okay, Jupiter's at 9 degrees of Aries. And we got Chiron at 13 degrees of Aries. So once Venus gets into Aries, we're gonna have a little stellium in Aries, and it's a lot of fire, and it's a lot of competition, it's a lot of drive and passion. But Chiron is there. Okay, Chiron and Jupiter don't belong together. You know that, right? Chiron is crying, Jupiter is laughing. What are they doing together? It's not. It's going to be interesting to see them together, right? Chiron laughing, Jupiter, Chiron crying and Jupiter laughing, and Venus coming in to soothe over all the problems. So I think this might be a good time to work out whatever issues or problems that you might have, because Venus is coming in to soothe them over. I love that. Now, right now, Venus is technically still in a conjunct formation with Neptune. And again, I think that's why it's been a really creative week. I told you guys it was going to be creative this past week. I mean, because we're coming out of the full moon in Leo, so much creativity. And I knew as we were coming down into this Pisces new moon that it was just going to be full of creativity. And it has. It's very creative. It's been amazing, amazing time. And I kid you not, I think I've made no less than 100 videos in the last 2 weeks. Like, it's just been crazy. I hope all of you have taken advantage of this creative period, because it's been rare and not everybody, I think, has taken advantage of it. Saturn is at 28 degrees of Aquarius, as I mentioned. It's on its way to Pisces. It'll be there on the 7th of March, and it'll be affecting people's lives. I see Dark Clown wants to get in on this conversation. I'm going to accept Dark Clown. Let's see what Dark Clown wants to say. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I don't know if it went through or not. I just saw Dark Clown. Like, if anyone wants to get in on the conversation, I'm inviting you guys to come in and do whatever it is you want to say, right? I think I just missed Dark Clown. Someone says, I was born and raised in Florida, and you are very right. Ooh, so Florida's got a problem. I'm telling you. I am not in Florida, but just seeing what is happening in Florida scares the living bejesus out of me. Like, I'm like, what? Someone said, that's the divide and conquer complex. Yeah, yep. Someone said, thank you, Boss Lady 27, yeah, and others for contributing to the live. Oh, that's great. Yeah, someone says, I have been feeling that shift. There is a definitive shift. It is a crazy time because you can literally feel the change. I want you guys to pay close attention over this next week, because I feel like, or not this week, but we've got, what, 2 weeks, I guess it is, 2 weeks, on the 7th. Coming this time from now, which is the 18th of February, so that's 10 days in February, right? And then we'll have 7 days in March, so that's 17 days. The next 17 days. Basically, you know, until we get into this full moon in Virgo, we're in a culmination stage once we get past this new moon tomorrow. So don't do anything like, I'm doing this tonight, but I'm doing this because I had to do it for the new moon, okay? I felt like even on TikTok, I could feel like everything kind of slowed down over this week. Because when the moon is waning, it's slowing down. It's not growing. It's not growing, okay? But after tomorrow, everything's going to start growing again. It's all going to start moving forward, pushing forward. Change is going to happen. And that'll be your time. If you want to make change in your life, after tomorrow, start on this 17 or be 16 days after tomorrow, 16-day journey of whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to create, whatever it's going to take until we get to that Virgo full moon, or right after that Virgo full moon. And I just feel like, do what you can. Get all the knowledge you can. Finish everything you can. Get ready for, you know, what's coming. Because Virgo is very rational, and when that full moon gets here, I feel like whatever this creative thing is really, it's going to be halted immediately. Virgo will put an end to it. It'll just, because it's going to be very rational. It'll want the facts, nothing but the facts. And it'll be very analytical about everything that's going on. So we won't be dealing with just our, you know, our emotions and what we feel like we want. Because right now we're all in our feelings. And that's really what this Pisces Sun Moon conjunction is all going to be about. It's about being all in our feelings. That's, you know, in our heart, in our feelings, in our compassion. You'll see more people crying. Like, do you remember years ago, me and my daughter still laugh about it, but years ago, there was this commercial with the Sarah McLachlan song, In the Arms of an Angel, Far Away from Here, right? And the dogs would sit there and shiver. I used to sit there and watch that commercial and cry. You're going to see a lot of that. People crying on commercials. Just a lot of mushiness. I guess the word is a lot of mushy, teary, whiny. There should be some whining maybe. I don't know. But, you know, if you use it for creativity, I think that's the best way to use Pisces energy is with creative endeavors. Like whatever you can do creatively. And protect your creative works of art. Protect them. Because I really believe that when Saturn gets into Pisces on the 7th, our creativity is going to be restricted. How it's going to play out, I don't know. I just know it will be. Okay. Uranus is at 15 degrees of Taurus, and the North Node is at 6 degrees of Taurus. That North Node at 6 degrees, it's actually aspecting the Sun in a positive way, because the Sun gets a 10-degree orb. And so I think that's very good. Whatever you're led to do, do it. You know what I mean? If you're led to learn something new, learn it. If you feel like you've got this lesson that you have to learn, definitely do that. I have a feeling, though, it might have something to do with communicating. And again, I'm going to say it again, if they get rid of TikTok, that is definitely restricting our communications, isn't it? And our creativity. And the fact that they're actually thinking about doing that is what makes it crazy, because we're right on the precipice of that actually occurring in real life, not just because Saturn's going into Pisces, but because they're really about to do that. So yeah, it's, to me, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, wow, the fact that it's playing out in reality like it is. You know, it's one thing to see it on paper, and it's another thing to see it happening for real. The other thing I just wanted to say, because I'm looking at where Pluto is, let's not forget Pluto is going to be going into Aquarius a little bit. We got a little while, but it's at 29 degrees of Capricorn already. It's in a fate degree already. And what gets me about that is that all those balloons that have been floating over, what are those balloons? Where are they coming from? I've been very wary about the balloon. Yeah, just I would be really careful about that right now, because, you know, basically 29 degrees of Capricorn is basically like 0 degrees of Aquarius. 0 degrees of Aquarius, Pluto is craziness. That's UFOs. That's witches. That's the ghosts coming up. That's goblins. That's everything. You know that Pluto in Aquarius is about to happen, right? You realize what we're about to experience. I mean, yeah, we were all born in this lifetime for a reason. Obviously, to experience something like Pluto in Aquarius, which I am not particularly excited about. I have Aquarius in the first house. I've been dealing with this Pluto in there for a minute, but I can tell you this is weirdness, and I want you all to know there's some strange weirdness that's about to go down. Also, like I said earlier about Aquarius, it's a very cold sign, and Pluto in a very cold sign just doesn't feel right at all. Pluto is Hades. Pluto is hell, in a way. By the way, did you guys know it was Pluto Day? Happy Pluto Day! How many people knew it was Pluto Day? February 18th is Pluto Day. Pluto was discovered in 1930, I believe it was, on this day. So happy Pluto Day. February 18th is Pluto Day. And here's the thing. I will say this, because I'm old enough to talk about it. I still have not forgiven the astrological, community for turning Pluto into a planetoid and not a planet. I still consider it a planet. I talk about Pluto a lot, as you can see. Some of you youngins don't, because y'all ain't been taught the right way. And it's because they've been telling you like it's not important. It's just a little asteroid, is a planetoid. And I'm like, no, it's the smallest planet, but it's the most powerful. Don't count it out, especially in astrology. And I really saw the Pluto Capricorn issue all throughout the Pluto Capricorn. I mean, from the George Floyd to the 5 guys that just killed the boy, that's all the Capricorn power tripping. You know that, right? To me, it just played out in reality, that's all. And we're at the tail end of it. Like too much. Just think of like when I think about the power trip and think about why they got rid of Richard Nixon, because he was a Capricorn. He was like the epitome of a Capricorn. Why did they get rid of him? It was the power tripping. They caught him on tape, power tripping. That's all. That's really, and today that's all. When I think about it, that's all it really was. He made a tape of himself power tripping. Like it was his tape in his Oval Office, talking all the smack he wanted to say about the blacks or the whatever he was saying, and he got caught, and then it got exposed. But he was the president, and to him he was all powerful, and he got caught at it. Well, this is kind of like what Pluto's been going through. Some people get a little power, they don't know how to handle that power. Suddenly, like let's say you have never had real power, but then all of a sudden you're a police officer and you're given a great deal of power. Not everybody knows how to handle that, especially if it's Plutonian energy, which is basically destruction. Not everybody knows how to handle that. And I think we just saw it play out. That's what it looks like when it plays out in reality, is people having others stand on their necks and, beat them to death and stuff like that. So it's been ugly. The most we can hope for with Pluto going into Aquarius is that it's going to be more rational, not so much about power, but about othering. And I think the power is going to be in othering. And what I mean by that is Aquarius is other oriented. It's like they don't do anything alone. They're not supposed to anyway. They are other oriented. Their success comes when they work with a group, a club, organization, some association they belong to, like the Farmers Club or something. That's when Aquarius has really shined, because they've got some thing that they're promoting, or some others that they're with, and the unity of what they're doing is what makes it amazing. It's the unity of it all. Aquariuses are known for the unity. They're supposed to be about the unity, which is why Saturn in Aquarius was so horrific, because it kept us from having the unity. I got back to that, yeah. See, and that's what I meant about that. But anyway, Pluto there, I think the power is going to be in the unity. And what do I mean? I'm making a prediction right now that over the next 10 to 15 years, really, we're going to see where community, clubs, groups, special organizations, that's how people are going to survive. That's how people are going to live. Years ago, they used to say it takes a village, right? It takes a village. We're going to see that play out in real life. It's going to end up taking some kind of collective entity for, we're going to see that during Pluto in Aquarius. Believe me, you watch. It's all, we might even see that one of the key words is the word unity. We might see that. That might be a word, like they've been getting rid of the word, they've been trying to get rid of the word equity, right? But I think what we're going to see a lot more is unity. That's going to be big. I really, that's my prediction. Anyway, you guys, I've been sitting here talking about the planets. I've just been running my mouth. I wanted to tell you guys, I wanted to tell you about the changes, because we're at the brink of massive changes. It's going to be a different vibe, right? I feel like at the heart of everything, we've been restricted from communicating, doing things together, the togetherness of being human. But when Pluto gets into Aquarius, that's going to be everything. We're going to be having to do probably everything together. The power will come from the togetherness. So it's a whole different vibe. Also, I think with Jupiter in Aries right now, being courageous, taking a chance, not being afraid, that's going to be a major focus for this year, for sure. And I believe with the focus in Pisces with Saturn, I just don't want people to lose their humanity. Hold on to your compassion. Remember that when it feels like there's none left, because you might start feeling that with Saturn in Pisces. It might feel like you've lost that ability to feel and to have compassion for other people. But don't lose that, okay? Don't lose that. So you guys, I'm out of here. Let's put some music on. I'm going to party out. I just wanted to come for a few minutes. I didn't want to stay forever. I just had a couple of things I wanted to say, and I'm glad I came to say it. So much love, much light, many blessings. This has been Adrian, Capricorntigress of Astrology, A Look Inside. Yes. Much love to you. Bye. And I'm going to get much better with this, I promise. Someone said, oh wow, I'm a Capricorn, and I've had a great day today. It's been a great day. I know. I love it. I love it. It's been a great day. Much love to you. Much love to you. Someone said, I had a great day today. Yes. Someone said, hey, Miss Lady, Capricorn. My Capricorn. My Capricorn. Love you, Capricorns. Yes. Much love to you guys. Much love. And by the way, I make this music. If anyone wants copy-free music, let me know. I make it on my AI program. I do. So just know. I love it. Bye, you guys.